Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad where we get together and make a card. Today's card is one of my favorites because I love cupcakes. You can never have too many real cupcakes or card cupcakes, right? And look at how cute this one is. It says, "Have a happy day." And you open it up and you can write your message. Now what do we need to create this card? First, we need the card die set that I created for Sizzix. It's the Cupcake Fold It, so we need that. We also need the stamp set. This one is Happy for Banners, for the Stamps of Life, and also the banner die that goes with it that looks like this. And we're going to be using our Stamps of Life marker and adhesive, and I think we're ready to go. Are you ready? Now, the best part about the folded dies is they are so easy to make the card base. What you're going to do is you're going to fold your cardstock in half. And you know what? That's the hardest part. Isn't that awesome? Now, I like to just fold it like this, and then I grab my bone folder. Here's a bone folder. And I'm just going to make sure I really get that scored nice to make that a nice clean edge. And then we're going to die cut it. So I'm going to bring my die cut machine over. Now remember, my fold is right here. So I'm going to lay my fold right there. That's my fold right there. And I'm going to grab the largest die in this set. Now, it says on the back, place fold here, or place fold here. So if I want it to open up at the top, I'm going to place the fold up here. If I want it to open on the side, I'm going to place the fold over here. My fold is right here, and I want it to do it at the top, so I'm going to lay it right there, and you can see my cutting pad in between the paper and the die. So that is going to be my fold. So it says place fold here, and that's what I did. And then I'm going to get a second cutting pad, and I'm going to run this through the machine. That's how easy this is. Dun, 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 dun. Just like that. Now we are going to be die cutting the frosting, so we're going to be getting that, and we're going to be die cutting the little cups to hold it, the paper cups. So now I have my card base. Look at this, look at this. I'm going to open it up, maybe, there we go. Open it up and it folds at the top. Isn't that fantastic? So now what we want to do is we want to cut our frosting, and since I'm using my extended magnetic platform, I can do a lot at the same time. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to die cut the little paper cup in this, and we're also going to die, oh, you know what? Well, there's a trick here, because we need to cut both of these at the same time. So we're going to lay that down, because otherwise it would just cut it out of the one and not the, it would come out, it wouldn't come out. So we're going to die cut those, and then we're going to die cut the cherry and then the other paper cup. So we're going to get the cherry in just a second. And then the other paper cup. Okay, so now we have our frosting. Dun, 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 and we have our paper cup. Half of it, because we're going to die cut the biggest piece out of the dark brown. So we're going to move those off to the side. And so now we're going to just die cut the one piece, not both, just the one. And we're also going to die cut our cherry. Let's move this over just a little bit because we want to do our cherry. Now we're going to die cut this out of the same paper. So we're going to use, I'm sorry, out of the green and the pink. So we are going to die cut two at the same time. And you know what? I know I'm going to also have to stamp and die cut my banner, so I might as well do that now. So let's go ahead and get this out. And we did Have a Happy Day. So let's find that one. Have a happy day. There it is. And I'm going to peel this up, and we've already used this one, so we know it's not brand new. If it was brand new, we would definitely want to stamp it a couple times onto scratch paper. So I'm going to peel these off because those are old ones, and we're going to lay this down. And I'm going to need some banana ink. So we'll grab some banana ink, and we're going to ink this baby up, and we are going to stamp it. Just like that. Now, of course, I'm using my Stamper Secret Weapon below me, and look at that beautiful, perfect impression. Isn't that gorgeous? So now what we're going to do is we're going to lay that in there as well, because we might as well do all of this at the same time, right? And we're going to get that die that, oh, there it is. And we're going to lay this down. Look how it lines up perfectly. And with the magnetic platform, it stays exactly where it needs to. Oh, unless it snaps to a magnet. So then, see how it snapped to a magnet? We're going to move our paper to match up to where it wants to go. So let's see, that looks just right. And now we're going to run all of those through. So we're cutting out two cherries, a stamped banner, and the rest of our paper cup. Just like that. Isn't that easy? I love easy. Easy is good. But the best part is it's fantastic at the same time. It's a wow factor. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put all of our pieces together. So we're going to add our frosting. Whoops. So let's add our frosting to our cupcake. Dun, 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 dun. And then we are going to add our paper cup. So let's add our paper. We're going to add a little bit of adhesive to this. I probably could have used the Sizzix adhesive on the back of this. Would have been smarter, huh? Okay, so we'll add this to this, just like that. And then we're going to add adhesive to this. And I always like my cupcake frosting to hang over the edge, so I want to make sure I line that up so it hangs over, just like that. And then we are going to add our little cherry. Now to finish off the cherry, so we have two pieces here, right? So what we're going to do is we want to have a green stem but a pink cherry. So we are going to just peel off, or I literally just do this. I just go like that. I just pull it and then rub it with my finger because, you know, easy peasy is all about what it's all about. So now I'm adding adhesive to this, and look at how easy this is. So I'm laying that on there, and look, it's like double layered. It's perfect. And we're going to add adhesive just to the bottom of this, just like that. So it covers that fold too, which is kind of handy dandy, right? And then we're going to add our cute little have a happy day. And I think, and yes, on this sample we did we? Oh no, we didn't. Well, I'm going to add some foam squares because every once in a while I get excited about adding foam squares. So we're going to just trim those. I always like to use as little as possible so I can save more for the next time. And we're going to peel that off. Maybe. There we go. And peel this one off. There we go. And we're going to add that, have a happy day. And then to finish it off, we're going to add a little green bow. So we're just going to tie a bow. And when you do your bows, this is the one crafty thing my mother taught me. You have a rabbit ear, and normally you would go in front. Well, we're going to go behind. And then we're going to fold it with our, so now you can see I have my two fingers in there. We're going to fold it with this thumb. We're going to push that through, see how it's folded, and we're going to pull, just like that. And then you get to mess with the arms and the legs. So let's do that. And see how cute my little bow is? And then you're just going to pull it, and you play with it a little bit. I like to play with it to make sure it's just what I want. There we go, and we're going to trim it. Trim there, and trim there. And look how easy peasy this card is. It's so fantastic. And you could really mass produce a whole bunch of these because that was fast. Look how cute our little cupcake is. Almost good enough to eat, right? Look at that. Have a happy day. And I can write my little message. And that was the easiest card ever. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad, where we get together and make cupcakes. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.